Okay then, we'll play a game of my own creation. Afro Ninja Sleazerocker? No.
Dungeon Dice.
Dungeon Dice. We'll each take turns drawing dice, so it's just like Duel Monsters. And then we'll use our dice to summon holographic monsters to the field, so it's just like Duel Monsters. Each opponent is given 3 hard points, and when those points run out, so it's just like Duel Monsters. Hey! My game is nothing like Duel Monsters. In what way? My game uses dice. Honestly, the first time I saw this, I thought it said Dungeon Dice Monsters, and I thought someone made a Flash version of Dungeon Dice Monsters, and I wanted to play it, but instead I got this. That factored somewhat into why I was disappointed in this game, but we'll get into it later. Alright, so we choose our class. Each class will eventually learn all of the abilities, but the class you choose determines in what order you have, in what order you learn them, and how much each one costs. I am not speaking right now. We'll fix that. Alright, Power Mage. Power Mages rain down with concussive force, resulting in dice rolls that shatter their opponent's conscience. Add on to existing dice rolls. Life Mages infuse their dice with soothing energy and positive intent, giving them rejuvenating properties. Gain health on high dice rolls. The Time Mage distorts the fabric of space-time itself by browsing a selection of alternate realities and choosing the most favorable one. Reroll low dice values. It is so epic sounding when you read the flavor text, and then it's just, this adds 1 or 2. This one, you gain health on dice rolls. This one, reroll low dice rolls. The first time I played it, I was a Power Mage. I'm gonna play as a Time Mage this time because I like the Time Mage powers.
This is no place for the simple-minded. I'd suggest turning back, but I can sense your determination. Are you ready to prove yourself?
No.
Do you get mad at me now? Oh, you just wait.
Yes, I am.
Alright, so you'll notice that my enemy has 1 die, and I have 2 dice. This is a 2 versus 1 battle. Click roll to start. Now it says hold and release. You don't actually have to hold it down, and I don't think holding it has any effect. You just click. Now here, my opponent has a 6, I have a 5. 6 beats 5 by 1 point, so I take 1 damage. Roll again. 4 beats 3, I take a damage. 5 beats 1, so he takes 4 damage. And can we kill him real fast this time? Yeah! You have learned Rewind. Space-time Rewind, and now have 10 magic points to spend per fight. You have also been given a map to aid in your endeavor. Congratulates! You have beaten your first enemy and earned your first ability. Abilities require magic points, and magic point is refilled after each battle. Unfortunately, your hit point is not. You must finish this dungeon on 1 health bar. On 1 bar of health. Good luck. Reading, fail. Alright, so here's our map. It is completely useless because you have to go in order anyway, I believe. So here, see, there's this door. If we turn to this side, there's a green door, and if we turn over here, a blue door, and if we turn over here, a rusted door. This door, locked. Okay, this door, locked. Okay, this door, locked. Okay, this door, the only one that we can go through. So here, green slime doesn't like your face. Are you ready for battle? Yes, yes I am. Click on an ability gem at the bottom and then click a die that you want to enchant. Abilities activate after each dice roll. Abilities with green costs are cheaper because they belong to your class, and since we're a space-time rewind mage, this costs 0 magic points. It will re-roll the die once if it is 2 or lower. And so here, it doesn't matter which one you do, but I have found that whichever one you enchant, the other one will be the one that rolls well. But that was when I was a Power Mage. Power Mages get a bonus on top of the die roll. So let's roll that. Alright, my best roll is 6 to 6, that's a tie, roll again. 4 to 5, I take a damage. 5 to 6, I take a damage. 2 to 5, my 2 rerolls into a 6, now he takes a damage. So, I mean, it's pretty easy to see how this game is going. Oh, by the way, I love this. Now, my die roll re-rolls, but And remember the Time Mage flavor text? I scan through alternate realities until I find one where it's a favorable result. You can re-roll your 2 into a 2 or into a 1 just as easily as you can roll a 3, 4, 5, or 6. And so it fails to deliver on that sense. Now, one of the nice things... Actually, I can't say one of them. One of the nicest things about this game, and one of the reasons why I'm going to encourage you to slog through it, because as you see here... Ooh, double 1, that becomes a 3. This game is very repetitive and tedious and boring to get through, but the dialogue and the boxes. Player wins. You earn nothing from this battle. Sad face. There's all kinds of cute, funny little things that they go before and after each battle that helps to make this game worth playing. I beat it last night. There's no real challenge, skill, strategy involved. Red slime looks a lot like green slime, but the similarities end there. Are you ready for battle? Yes! I'll own this dude. So, always remember to use your spells. You can use your spells on any of your dice, and obviously you will eventually have 4 dice. Unfortunately, you never have enough magic points to really use all of your spells. Here I'm lucky because this rewind ability is free, so no matter what, I can use this rewind ability every single time. I also noticed that the bad guys roll so much better than me constantly. I usually take more damage than my opponent does every single fight. I'm trying to think of ways to improve this game, because I do kind of like the idea. One of the poorest applications of this game is simply the fact that you only take the top die. And what that means is, when I roll dice, I don't even look at my dice, I look at my opponent's. If my opponent has, like he does here, a 1 and a 3, I assume that I'm going to deal damage. On the other hand, whenever he rolls a 6, then either I take damage or we tie. There's no way that I beat him. So I just look over here, and that determines whether or not I'm going to, my chance of winning. Player wins. You have acquired a 3rd magical numeric cube. You have learned recursion and have gained an additional 5 MP. You found a green key on the ground. Ooh, get back over there. There's my green key. So now you go back, you turn, and then there's a green door, which on the map, see how there's 2, 3, and then 4 doors? Yeah, see? Alright. Sandworm impedes your progress. Are you ready for battle? I am. So now I have 3 dice, and I have 2 spells. So this one's 0, so obviously just use that. This one now costs 1. The die will re-roll up to twice as long as it's 2 or lower. If it's not 2 or lower, no magic points are consumed. So this guy... Oh, there we go. This works out pretty well. Like I mentioned, this is a pretty tedious game. And now in an instance like this, where I have a 6-2, he has a 6-2, but then I have a 6 on top of him, what I think the game needs to have is any number of different things. 1, total of the dice versus the total of the dice. So here I have 14, he has 8, he should take 6 damage. In that case, you up everybody's hit points, because you'll at times have an entire die over the other guy, and so you can deal a lot of damage at once. Second thing you can do, have each die oppose my opponent's die. So for example, this die and this die, I would take 4 damage. This die and this die, he would take 4 damage. And then this 6 right here, he would take 6 damage, because he doesn't even have a die to oppose that. In addition to comparing one die to the other, you should have the ability, maybe have the ability to move dice around. So for example, he might want to guess. You might have more than 4 spots. And then when you go to roll your dice, you put them in the spots you want without knowing where your opponent is putting his dice. Then you both reveal them, and then there's a little bit of strategy. Well, it's still more luck, but trying to guess where your opponent's putting his dice so you can match them to defend yourself, or trying to guess where your opponent's putting his dice so that you can avoid them and deal extra damage. That would add a little bit of strategy to the game. And then on top of that, I would like to see something activate when you roll really well. If I roll double sixes, triple sixes or something, I want some awesome magical ability to trigger when that happens. Because, or even when I just roll doubles. Like if I roll double threes, I would love it if that gave me some sort of bonus or benefit. But they're just lost opportunities. This is nothing but a simple, as I've mentioned it before, but a simple, tedious slog through the opponent. Roll a 6. That would have put him down pretty quickly. Take 1. There. He rolled a 3, so I'm going to beat him, and he does. Like I said, player wins. You earned the ability to keep playing the game. Play through the game, as tedious as it is, and so far I haven't played the Life Mage, but let me tell you what the Life Mage powers do. If you roll a 5 or 6 on the die that's enchanted with the life, you gain life. I think like 2 or 3 points of life. Or maybe 1 and 3 points of life are the 2 spells. The Power Mage, the first level spell, you spend 1 magic point and it adds 1 to the die roll as long as the die roll is over like a 2 or something like that. Those are very nice because it's always 1 extra. I mean, that seems obvious, but you're always either taking 1 less damage or you're dealing 1 more damage. And then the next spell up, I think it costs 3 magic points normally, and then 2 because you're a Power Mage. But it adds 2 to the die roll. And at the end of the game, you're adding 1 to one die and 2 to the other die, and that can really help rack up the points and help to destroy your enemy. It's he's the only mage where if you both roll 6s, as long as one of your 6s is enchanted, it becomes a 7 or an 8, and you still deal damage. But this Time Mage guy, he doesn't run out of magic points because he hardly ever uses magic points. The Power Mage was running out of magic points early on in every fight, and after the first 5 dice rolls, then you suddenly have to just slog it out with no magic powers. We'll look at the last one. I'm not going to do this fight, I'm just going to read it. Bloodworm cares less about impeding your progress and more about killing you. Are you ready for battle? No, I'm not. Exit game. Yes.
Dungeon dice.
Dungeon dice. So many possibilities, but they left it off. Was this one of the 72-hour Game Jam games? It was not. It was a small collab that they started. We tried to make it as balanced as possible, but unfortunately, as you might guess, dice are completely random. Sweet title screen voice. The enemies do not have increased odds of rolling higher numbers, ever. All the dice rolls come from the same random number generator. It does seem, when you play the game, like the bad guys have better dice rolls, constantly. But, I mean, you do eventually end up winning, so it's just an issue of perception. So this has been Dungeon Dice Monsters. I mean, Dungeon Dice. A game that, I hope, I'm probably going to leave a comment on them, but not today. I'll have to do it tomorrow or something because I'm busy. Detailing ways that they could improve it, or at least ways that I'd like to see it improved, because I have no Flash skill programming at all. Bye-bye.